Republicans crossed a dangerous threshold yesterday as they continue to push the lie about election fraud in the 2020 election in states all across the country. Republican lawmakers in Pennsylvania took a major step in their baseless probe of the 2020 election results by approving subpoenas that would look into the personal information of every single voter in Pennsylvania. The subpoenas include information such as driver's license numbers, partial Social Security numbers, and voting methods, which Republicans say will help them look into claims that ineligible voters cast ballots in the election. To be clear, one more time, President Biden won Pennsylvania by more than 80,000 votes. The results have been audited. They've been reaffirmed by the state's Department of State. Judges in Pennsylvania and the Supreme Court have denied bids by Trump and his allies to overturn the election result there. Michael Steele is back with us. Michael Steele, we're trying to get the lieutenant governor up. We're having some technical difficulties, but this has been on our radar for months. We've spoken to the state's attorney general, Josh Shapiro, many times, who's confident that a Maricopa-style fraud won't happen in Pennsylvania. But these moves may have the same animating and radicalizing impact. And you go back to that poll we talked about at the beginning of the hour, 78% of Republicans in this country don't believe that President Joe Biden was legitimately elected. It is the fuel that is burning down faith and trust in our elections and our democracy.
Well, I'm a former lieutenant governor, so the one thing we learned, Nicole, is how to pinch hit when the governor's not there. So I'm happy to stand in for the governor for a short while until we can get his tech worked out. No, I think that's exactly right, and that's the point, isn't it? The point is like, oh, we know there's no fraud there, but we create enough noise, diversion, get people upset, fired up. Dispirited, mistrusting the system, not supporting the idea of democracy that they grew up with, that every vote matters, every vote counts. And when there is a problem, the system has tests and ways to figure out how to deal with those problems. To cast doubt on all of that, Nicole, is what this crazy fraud nonsense is about. You had 60 courts affirm there was no fraud. The Supreme Court said, don't even bother us with this crazy, right? Our own Justice Department looked at it and went, no, nothing here. Keep moving. And yet they persist. And they persist not for any legal or constitutional reason. They persist because there is a political result they're trying to reach. And that political result is one in which they cast enough doubt and control so that on the other side of these elections, they can put into effect the kinds of legislation that we see. They can fall back on that legislation, and suddenly the Secretary of State takes control of the election, or the legislature grabs it in a way and says, oh, I'm sorry, we're going to take a closer look at this and get the result that we want. That's what this is about. And what now becomes the problem, the challenge, the test, is how the institution holds up to this, the state institutions, the state legislatures and legislators who are trying to fight this, but also how the rest of America responds to this as well. And that space is still being defined, unfortunately, Nicole. We don't know fully how this is going to play out, because these things will take place, but we don't know what the ultimate result will be until we get into the next election cycle.